I have officially left the EA Creator Network, and I'm going to tell you why I left the EA Creator Network. I'm sure if you've kept up with everything going on that you could probably guess why I left the EA Creator Network. But for those of you who do not know what has been going on, recently EA, or Electronic Arts, was bought out by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, Silver Lake, and Jared Kushner's affinity partners, which is nowhere near being a good thing. And now you might be wondering why that isn't a good thing. Well, for several reasons. Saudi Arabia has a very long history of committing human rights violations. Women, the LGBTQIA+ community, atheists and other religious minorities, journalists, human rights activists, etc. And I'm talking stuff like flogging, imprisonment, and putting people to death. Jared Kushner, for those of you who don't know, happens to be the son-in-law of the current United States president, which would be Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, has been married to Jared Kushner for a very long time, which means that, yes, EA has ties now, very big ones, in fact, to the Trump family. I am a bisexual woman of color. I am Black and Hispanic, for those of you who do not know, and just... This deal really did rub me in a very wrong way. It really did break my heart, which is going to sound very stupid talking about a company, a corporation whose only motivating factor has ever been money and satisfying their shareholders. But I knew pretty much from the beginning, once this deal was announced, what my stance was and what I would be doing afterwards. I am a very political person. My entire existence is political. The Sims 4 is a very political game, whether people like to believe it or not, and this deal is highly political. I had a naive sense of false hope for maybe 5 minutes where I said on Twitter that I was trying to stay open-minded or be positive, but I could understand why people were freaking out about this buyout. Yeah, that perspective of mine did not last long. It was just unfortunately a very harsh reality to wake up to. I feel like I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can in this video and give you my exact thought process. You are free to call me stupid. You are free to call me a hypocrite. You are free to call me whatever you would like, but I'm going to maintain my honest perspective and thought process throughout these past several months. When this deal was revealed, it really did solidify to me that the Sims franchise was dead. And for me in particular, this was a very harsh reality to wake up to because it felt like it was a premature death for the franchise. It felt like it was too soon. It felt like the game had just come out, when in reality, the game has been out since 2000. The Sims 1 was launched in the year of 2000, before I was even born. I did a lot of thinking about it, and the reason why I felt this way was because compared to a lot of my mutuals, compared to a lot of Sims 4 content creators, compared to people I've spoken to in the community, I am a very new player when it comes to the Sims franchise. So let me give you some backstory about how long I've been playing the Sims franchise, okay? Up until 2009, I had never heard of The Sims at all. Never heard about The Sims 1, never heard about The Sims 2, never even saw the game, none of that, okay? My first ever introduction to The Sims franchise was in 2009 by my older cousin. Sometimes she would come over to my house and she would bring her laptop and we would play Sims 3 together. And I remember this distinctively because I remember us living in Sunset Valley on that little lot near the waterfall. We would build a house, we had cars, and I was obsessed with feeding my Sim watermelon whenever she got pregnant to make sure she was gonna give birth to a girl. We played it here and there whenever she would come over, but it wasn't often because back then my parents were very strict and they did not want me having access to any games with any type of sexual themes. So for that very reason, even though I had begged to please have The Sims 3 to myself and please have my own copy, they never did. They would only allow me to play when my cousin came over. My cousin and I had a falling out in the early 2010s as well. So after that point, I never really touched The Sims 3 ever again. Fast forward to 2014, The Sims 4 comes out, and I was bored one day on vacation and I had a laptop with me. Decided to open up and play The Sims 4. My brain never computed the fact that The Sims 4 and The Sims 3 are vastly different games. So when I played The Sims 4, I was so confused. I was like, where is that lot next to the waterfall? Where are the cars? Why isn't feeding watermelon to my pregnant Sim making her give birth to female babies? I was just so lost. I opened up The Sims 4 maybe 2 to 3 more times between the years of 2014 2014 to 2021. And it was in 2021 when it was a pandemic. I was laid off looking for work still, but I was just chilling in my bed and a video popped up on my For You page of someone playing The Sims 4 with the extreme violence mod. And that was all she wrote. That is how I am here today. So I have actually been only playing The Sims 4 for about 4 years now. So yes, for me, this game feels so new. It just doesn't feel right that it'd be dying so quickly. So I had to wake up to the fact that the truth is that this game is not that young. It's 25 years old. It's a quarter of a century old. And unfortunately, the death of The Sims 4 became inevitable once EA stopped really giving a shit about the game and started pushing out broken packs, not fixing their spaghetti code, and killing the possibility of there ever being a Sims 5. So yes, once this all hit the fan, I did kind of crash out in a way. This was just a few days after the buyout had been announced. I publicly severed ties with EA. I took out literally every single hashtag. Anywhere I posted my creator code, all sponsored content was removed for a period of time because I was just so heartbroken over everything going on. And though I had already made that decision that I was going to leave the network, I couldn't leave the network just yet because there was something I needed finalized involving EA, and that has since happened. So I officially pulled out of the EA Creator Network on November 19th, 2025. And like I said earlier, it was very quick and easy for me to make this decision. I was also already contemplating leaving the EA Creator Network for a while before this announcement had happened, and this just kind of made it 10 times easier. I have officially left the network, which means I'm no longer sponsored by EA. I'm no longer an EA creator. So what does that mean for the future of my content and my channel? Probably the biggest question that's going to be asked, so I will just answer it right now, is are you going to continue creating Sims 4 content? And the answer is yes. Yes, I will continue creating Sims 4 content. That is not going to change. That's not going anywhere. Believe it or not, most of the DLC that I have installed on my computer was not gifted to me by EA. It was DLC that I bought with my hard-earned money from my 9-to-5 job, and I intend on using what I bought until I can no longer use it. The money is already with EA. There's nothing that can be done about that. There are so many stories I am not done telling. My Legacy and my Not So Berry, for example, oh my god, those series have been going for 3 years now, and we're on generation 2 and 3. Yeah, we're nowhere near done with that. I just started my Black Widow Challenge series. There are so many other things I want to do. What this basically just means is that I am no longer sponsored by the EA Creator Network. I am not partnered with EA in any way, shape, or form, and I will not be purchasing any new DLC made by EA, and I will no longer have an active creator code or affiliate code. Now, as I am recording this, there is a chance that my creator code might still be active, as it does sometimes take a few weeks to completely disable this kind of stuff. I'm not sure. So if that's the case, I ask you to please not use my creator code. All right, we talked about my thoughts. We talked about the future of my channel, and we talked about me. But now what I'm about to say is a message for other Sims 4 content creators that are still in the EA Creator Network. I was actually really disappointed with some of the community responses regarding this buyout, like gravely disappointed. It's disappointing. It really is, because let's be honest, there is no dire need to stay in the EA Creator Network, okay? You do not need to be in the EA Creator Network. There's been an argument thrown out by a few creators in this community that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, and that you can't criticize them for staying in the EA Creator Network because you have an iPhone, or because you drive a car, or because you eat food. And that argument is just so devastating to hear from some people, because it lacks just basic common sense and empathy. A smartphone, gas, food, water, those are necessities required for you to live. Like that, those are things you cannot live without or cannot function in modern society without. I need gas in order to get into my car, in order to drive to my 9-to-5 and make money that pays my bills. I need food so I don't starve to death. I don't need to be in an EA Creator Network to get access to codes for free DLC. Like, do we see the difference? I've also seen some creators saying that they want to stay in the network because they want to positively contribute to the conversation about the buyout. They want to try to stop the buyout in any way they possibly can. I'm going to say this as clearly as I possibly can. We cannot toxic positivity our way out of this buyout. Your voice and your positive words and your Facebook quotes genuinely does little to nothing to stop this deal, because cashing out a fat check is the ultimate goal for these people. The only way that the Sims franchise can be quote quote saved is if EA decides to break Sims off and sell them to somebody else. But you are talking a years long process that will only see the light of day if The Sims stops being profitable for EA. And considering The Sims 4 is the highest selling out of all of the other games in the franchise, that doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon. The Sims 4 DLC is a cash cow to EA. I promise you, you are not doing what you think you are doing by staying in the network. And it's so infuriating seeing this being said by creators of color, female creators, LGBTQ creators, creators that swear up and down that they can't stand the Trump administration. I've also seen people say that they rely on the EA Creator Network for their income, that they need this money or else they will not survive. And I genuinely find that hard to believe. I'm sorry, I do. I am not a huge content creator. I'm not Kayla Sims numbers, okay, Lil Simsy numbers, but I am also not a small creator with just a couple of thousand followers on one or two platforms. I am in the middle. Combined on all my accounts, I have pushing 200,000 followers, and I genuinely do not talk about my finances a lot on social media, but I will say that being affiliated with EA and having a creator code, that platform, out of all the platforms I have, out of all the companies I'm affiliated with or partnered with, that was the platform I made the least amount of money on. Okay, actually TikTok is, because I don't take TikTok seriously anymore. I own the keys to Flop City on TikTok. I genuinely think it's an awful platform for creators, and it has given me nothing but hell over the past few years. I really only continue posting there because it is my OG platform. But EA was second to last place when it came to how much money I was pulling in a month from social media. And I am not the only one. Based on conversations I've had with a few other creators, the EACN was one of their least lucrative platforms as well. Using the EA creator code gives a creator a 5% commission, so we'd be making $2 off an expansion pack, $1 off of a game pack, 50 cents off of a stuff pack, and 25 cents off of a kit. So when I see a smaller creator claim that they make an exorbitant amount of money from the creator network, and without being in the creator network they won't be able to survive, you can see why I find that kind of hard to believe. And you know, I get it. Even if you aren't making a substantial amount of money off of the EA creator network, you're probably still making money and probably using that money for something in your life, whether that's your gas, your groceries, your Hulu bill, something like that, okay? If you need time to figure out how to get that money elsewhere, how to supplement that lost income, that is something I can understand. That is something I can empathize with. And if this is you, and if this is your situation, and if you are being honest in your claim that you rely so much on the EA Career Network, I would highly recommend, I would highly advise you, take this from me as someone who's been doing this for 4 years. And just this year in 2025, the money I make from content creation is making significantly more money than my 9-to-5 does now. Please branch out into other possible ways to make money online. Let me tell you all my sources of income, okay? I make money off of Patreon. I make money off of Facebook. I make money off of YouTube. I make money off of being affiliated with The Sims Tree. It's a website where you could build family trees for your Sims 4 families. I formerly made money off of my EA code, being partnered with the EA Creator Network, and I make very little money on TikTok. I do all that to make money. And I also have my 9-to-5. I still have a 9-to-5 to this day, believe it or not. Right there is 6 platforms that I was making money on. That is why taking away that one platform, the EA Career Network, is not going to hurt me that much financially, because I post my content all over the place. And I would highly recommend for you guys to do the same. Again, I understand if you need time to figure out how to supplement this lost income. But besides that, there is no good reason to keep staying in the EA Creator Network. And if that is still not enough to supplement the lost income, traditional jobs are still an option. But if these aren't your reasons for staying in the network and you simply wish to continue benefiting from it with the free codes, or because the network has quote quote been good to you, as one modder recently said on Twitter, it would be better to just say that. So I highly urge all of those that are still in the network, or they are contemplating leaving the network, to leave the network. If you truly care about the Sims franchise, if you truly care about human rights issues like you claim you do, you would find any way you can to leave the EA Creator Network as quickly as you can. And I know this is not a perfect world. I know that we are all hypocrites. I know that there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. We cannot all become perfect consumers. There is no such thing actually as a perfect consumer, or do our best overnight. However, one thing I believe that we all can do is just stop giving our money to EA and stop advertising their packs tax by leaving the EA Creator Network. And that's all I have to say about it. Sorry for this very serious video, but this is something that genuinely I'm passionate about. As a bisexual woman of color, decisions like these affect me and people like me. It is impossible for me to not have something to say about it. And of course, I'm not insinuating that I only care about this buyout because it affects people that are like me. I care about this buyout because it goes directly against my morals as a human being, and I would not be able to sleep at night if I didn't end my partnership with EA. I simply can't sit by and just watch. I just can't. It was fun while it lasted. I got to do some pretty cool things being with EA. I made the music video for FK Twigs in The Sims 4. The experience wasn't the greatest, I will say. Maybe I'll talk about that one day, but I'm immortalized in the franchise. Deandra is immortalized in the franchise. It was fun. But it no longer becomes fun when you know exactly where your money is going to, directly into the hands of one of the most corrupt and evil governments on the face of the earth. So yeah, all right. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.